Hey there! In this video I'm going to talk about tonality, body language, conversation, and the right setup for the sales calls. And after a while, when I started doing high ticket sales, I noticed that it's not only about what you say and so on, it's actually about how you say it and how you present yourself. And this guide covers how to use tonality, body language, and setup to make a stronger impression in sales calls, meetings, and everyday conversations. So this is going to be also beneficial just in general for you, because sales is everywhere. If you're with a friend and you want to go to, let's say, another restaurant, then you need to sell, this thing, and you need to sell why you and this guy or should go to that restaurant. So implementing these techniques will help you build authority, trust, and influence with prospects. So let's start with tonality. And just because you have a script and can read through it and be sweet, you need to know where to put emphasis. And there is a really good quote by Jordan Belfort: act as if you are wealthy man, rich already, and you will become rich. Act as you have unmatched confidence and you will become confident. Act as you have all the answers and the answers will come to you. And I really like this quote by Jordan Belfort, and I couldn't agree more with him. A great example of this name calling: Alex, playful question, urgency, so much communicated in that one word. When asking a prospect questions during the discovery phase, are you treating it like a survey, or are you genuinely interested in asking your questions with curiosity? You need to show that you're curious, and this is actually going to help you get better answers. Like, let's say, I can give you an example. Let's say there could be a question like this: why is it important to you? Or like this: why is it actually important to you? And as you can see, there is some kind of difference, and because of that, because of tonality, you're going to get different answers. So tonality accounts for 45% of human communication, 45% is body language, and 10% is word, which is a fun fact. And we've talked about tonality. I hope it all makes sense. Now let's talk about saying right without actually saying it. You can end your labels and feedback with an upward-facing tonality. This will imply what you're saying as a question. And there is a note: if you're ending every single sentence you do with upward-facing tonality, you will sound insecure. So pay attention to that. Calm, downward-facing tonality. The late night FM DJ voice, as Chris Voss calls it, taking calmly will make you sound like you're in control and have full confidence. Simply end your sentences with a downward facing tonality. This is the sound of conviction and understanding as well. Doing this too much can sound boring and hinder the variation in speed and sound that makes someone listen closely. Think about your old boring math teacher. So I can give you an example. Do you think that this could work for your business? As you can see, my tonality went a bit down, but as I said, if you are going to use it too much, you may sound like math teacher, but time to time you need to do that. Tonality task. There is an interesting task. So after watching this video, or you can pause it after I explain you this and just do it. So record a 5-minute video of yourself talking about a topic, or listen to 5 minutes of one of your latest sales calls. Listen carefully to yourself and note down: how do I sound? What can I improve on? And what do I need to implement in order to become a master of communication? This will not only help you on your sales calls, but also in your personal life. Another task is analyze that friend, family member, or business partner that everyone listens to when she speaks. Listen to how loud they speak, how they sound, and what tonalities they use. At the same time, notice it in movies, YouTube videos, and sales calls. So pay attention to that. And for this task, just as I mentioned, just record yourself talking and just try to find ways on where you could improve, and then take action and just train, because it may take time to actually master it. It is a hard process. Like for me, my English is not my main language, but the majority of times I have English sales calls, and it is actually it is harder to actually master it, you know. So I hope that makes sense. Then we have body language. So on a sales call, body language will not be as dominant as in person, because people can only see, you know, half of yourself. But still, there are a few things we want to look out, both positive and negatives. So first of all, sit in a good environment. Within the first 0.25 second, your prospect brain will have judged you on the way how you look, and within 4 to 5 seconds, they will have made a subconscious judgment of you. Can you imagine? So if you're sitting in a closet, your messy bedroom, have a bad lighting and sound uncertain with, "Hey, prospect, good to meet you," or something like that, then you're literally screwed. You need to be confident. You need to show that you're confident, positive, that you need to give the energy through the Zoom call, you know. And if you have a meeting like in real life, you also need to do that. You need to shine, you know, you need to show good energy. So on the other hand, if you show up with good lighting, a microphone, clean background, look fresh and sit in a comfortable position, you will shine. Your authority will shine, and your prospects' interpretation of you will be the same. No need to buy an expensive setup from day one. Eventually, I would recommend you doing that. But think about where you are sitting. If possible, start with a white wall and no blurry background. If you have a bookshelf, sit in front of that. And down the line, as you grow your income, you can invest into a better setup, as he said, and little should be on coincidence. So if you can position a plant, table lamp, and your business books in the background, it will help massively. So if it's possible, do that. And what I would also suggest you doing is, in terms of your setup, if you use those kind of stupid, backgrounds, blurry backgrounds, like it's not professional, and you like, in some subconscious way, your prospect could feel that maybe you're hiding a bit, something a bit, you know. And compared to a sales call where you have your background, you know, where other people can see your background, they could subconsciously feel that you're not hiding something, you know. It is going to position you as more trustworthy person. It's just in subconscious. So I hope it makes sense. So I wouldn't recommend you to do this, but obviously there are people who are making a lot of, you know, sales and so on, who have those kind of blurry backgrounds. Leaning back and forth. How do you feel when someone you just met is leaning a bit too much into your personal space? Not good, right? And I was doing that back in the days. I was like this. I was nervous and I was doing something like this. But now I am more relaxed and leaning back and forth. You know, this is how you should also, do. This is how you should do it, and you need to actually have in a comfortable position. And I noticed that from my past experience. When I was in a comfortable position, I could feel that my words, like everything that comes from my mouth, makes more sense. It's better. I am more relaxed, in a better situation. I'm not stressed. And if you're going to try and make like a sales call like this, it's not going to work that well. Like, you're going to see that it doesn't make sense. So I hope it all makes sense. Don't do it on sales call. Don't go too much like into their personal space. Within the first 10 seconds, sit in an upright middle position, and as soon as you have met each other and spoken for a bit, lean back and look relaxed. Don't be arrogant. Don't do stuff. I don't know if you're going to hear me. Don't do stuff like that you're like super arrogant, like just like this and so on. Don't do it, because people, they don't like it. And what is also important is using your hands. And using hands is so important, because if you're going to speak with your hands, people can just see people can actually get a better visualization actually of it. If you can show something, like let's say when you say it is huge, you can show it with your hands, and people they're going to remember it better, they're going to visualize it better, and people are going to listen to you more. So nothing is more boring than someone who sits too stiff and does not use her hands. And I gotta be honest, I am not an expert here what I'm saying is from my experience, from my knowledge. I have learned it from my mentors that it is important to use hands, but till this day I still time to time I forget to do that. So yeah, but please remember it. It is important to speak with your hands. And make sure to include, as you said, when you are speaking hands and during the discovery phase. Let's say you are in the discovery phase. To show that you're listening carefully, put your hands to your chin. I am often doing this. And also in subconscious way, it's going to make, let's see, the person who is speaking, they're going to feel that other person is actually listening. And don't ask me how I know this. It's from my mentor, but don't ask me like how is it like possible. I'm not sure. I just know that subconsciously it is working. And as I said, I was doing that. So yeah, I hope this video was valuable for you. So the biggest thing you need to remember is that in terms of setup, once you start scaling your business, once you start closing clients, you can always upgrade it. And you don't need to buy fancy cameras, all that stuff as soon as possible. So please remember that you need to use your hands. You need to sit relaxed. You need to be in a good environment, good body language, use good tonality, calm downward facing tonality, saying right without saying right. And yeah, that is basically it. So I hope this video was valuable for you, and see you in the next video. Cheers.